Welcome back, man, to a brand new episode of that.
Brand new LCP.
Now, normally I tell you guys we got a stacked docket, but today we got a stacked plate today in the lunchroom. So if you hungry, sit back, get your plate, get comfortable. It's a lot of shit, man. We got celebrity shit, we got ghetto shit, we got Neo out here. Neo told his kids about his party lifestyle. Now his son's mom, his daughter's mom, I can't keep the fuck up. She mad at Neo. Now, we got Steve Smith, Sr., legendary NFL wide receiver. You guys may know him for playing for the Carolina Panthers. He got caught sleeping with somebody's wife, but the kicker is Steve Smith is married. So we're going to get into that. We got some ghetto fucking news I'm going to get to first. We got stories with Sully. If you in traffic going to work, your spouse pissed you off. So now you in your living room on the sofa, you trying to get your 45 minutes, your hour of time to yourself. Sit back. Get comfortable, man. We're going to dive. I ain't played the intro in a minute, so let's dive into the shit since we got a stacked docket today. Get comfortable, baby.
It's that lunchroom chatter podcast, you know? Where you sit up and think about fucking your girl's best friend, but you can't because your girl's a fighter and she'll fuck you up. This that lunchroom chatter podcast where you lay up and think about being a porn star, but you can't because you come too quick, so you got to eat the pussy for 95 minutes. That kind of shit. This that lunchroom chatter podcast where you in bed at night thinking about beating your meat, but you can't because you live with your mama. And she bust in the room and said, bitch, get the fuck up. Mama, why you ain't knock on the door first? This that kind of shit. Where you can be yourself, where you can relax, where you could put yourself into the mind of another nigga. So stay tuned. Let's get this shit popping. Lunchroom chatter podcast, baby.
Welcome to that LCP. Damn, I miss you motherfuckers, man. But you know, life get busy. You guys know sometimes when you got kids, when you got responsibilities, sometimes you get carried away, man. But we're going to start with some ghetto shit today, man. Jesus. So look, you guys might hear this a couple times this episode because,
Jesus Christ.
it's a lot of bullshit going on. But, the world's dumbest criminal. Now, there was a young black lady, I believe she hails from Noonan, Georgia. Now, she worked at Whataburger. Now, check this shit out. Now, you know how you go through the drive-thru, you give your credit card, you pay for your shit, and you leave. Now, the cashier at the drive-thru was on probation. A guy came through, got his food, gave the credit card, left. Come to find out, she had took a picture of his credit card, and she used his credit card to pay for some shit, but not just anything. She used his credit card to pay for her probation fees. Boo, bitch. Because you guys already see where I'm going. She paid $400 to the courts to pay for her fucking probation fees. Now, of course, the guy who had his card stolen, he noticed it. He said, hey, I don't got to pay $400 for nothing to the courts. Now, come to find out, they was easily able to see where the $400 went and whose account it paid for. And they found the bitch. But like always, let's dive into the news report. This is from Fox 5 Atlanta. Because you guys need to hear this shit. Like I said, we have smart criminals. We got average criminals. We got dumb criminals. And then we got the most dumbest of all.
We have new information on that Whataburger worker accused of stealing a customer's credit card info to pay her court fines. Police have given her a week to turn herself in, but they learned she has since fled the state. As Fox 5's Doug Evans reports, since her story hit the news, she wants a second chance to surrender.
Sonoy police tell me that 25-year-old Alifa Sumter wants a do-over when it comes to turning herself in. The internet has already dubbed the Whataburger worker one of the dumbest, allegedly used stolen credit card information from a drive-thru customer to pay her own court fines.
I gotta pause this shit because how fucking dumb can you be? To steal a credit card for somebody, use that credit card to pay your fucking court fees when the courts can see who the fuck account the money went to. Bitch, I know you ain't this dumb. Now, I try to give people grace, especially young folks, but sometimes when motherfucker is simply straight ghetto. Ghetto as fuck, but Fox 5, come on, keep talking to me. Tell me how dumb this bitch was.
Police say back in January, Sumter was working the drive-thru at this Noonan Whataburger. A customer reported to Sonoy police that his credit card information was used to pay $400 in fines at the Coweta County State Court Probation Office. Investigators say they simply searched whose fines got paid. They say it was Sumter, and her info revealed she worked at Whataburger. They asked the victim if he'd been to the burger joint. They say he said yes, he had, and he later picked her out of a lineup. Coweta County took out a warrant for probation violation. Sonoy police took out felony warrants for identity theft and credit card fraud. Keep in mind, Sumter's probation was just for misdemeanor pot possession, so things have escalated significantly. Authorities gave her until Friday to turn herself in, but they say she didn't. On Monday, they learned she'd skipped the state. After her story appeared on Fox 5 and on social media, seemingly everywhere, police say she contacted them, asking to turn herself in on Wednesday.
She's taken quite a hammering on social media. She made a mistake. She's not an awful person, but obviously...
I got to pause it, man. Now, this guy's giving her more grace than I will because, of course, like I said, she's young, so of course it can be looked at as a mistake, but...
Jesus Christ.
You never know what people need their money for. Now, imagine that, because who knows? That could have been that guy's last $400. Now, we know how high everything is now. Fucking gas, food, eggs, everything is up. So somebody losing $400 out of nowhere, that could have fucked up that man's life. That could have put that motherfucker on the street. That could have put him on the street. What a bitch. Now, I know she work at Whataburger, but I'm just going to say what a bitch. I don't give a fuck who's offended. Oh, my God, why would you call her that? Imagine you lost $400 fucking dollars because a dumb motherfucker did some stupid shit, but let's keep it moving down the docket. Now, a couple days ago on social media, man, somebody reached out and they asked me, they said, hey, John, if you are talking to a woman, you guys, everything is going great, and she follows you on social media. Like, what is something you would look for on her social media page that could potentially turn you off? Now, that's a great question, man, because, of course, we know that social media is not real life, but sometimes what someone posts or how someone conducts themselves, especially if they conduct themselves in a way that is very immature in their adult stage of life, something can turn you off. Like, for example, like if a woman posts all titty pics or all body pics and shit like that, especially being 35 and up, that can be a turnoff. But my guy Sully, let's tap into that stories with Sully because as always, man, he had a response. So Sully, if you're talking to a lady, a little young, tender little thing, and you follow her on social media, like let's say IG, you follow her on IG. What is something that could turn you off if you go to her page and you might just say, bitch, this ain't gonna work. So Sully, talk to me.
In response to a question someone asked you about what you don't want to see on a woman's Instagram page, right? The moment you see it, it's a turn off. This may sound like I'm hating, especially coming from a avid traveler like myself. I post nothing basically but Japan content. But when I go to a woman's page and the only thing I see is like her at the beach, but just like a whole bunch of different beaches, right? Say sometimes she's at the beach in Cancun, sometimes she's at the beach in the Dominican Republic, sometimes she's at the beach in Miami. It's just her in a bikini at the beach. To me, that's just basic content, right? Like you really ain't even posting the beach if we being honest, right? You just posting your ass in a bikini and letting everybody know that you got money or credit card debt enough to travel. Or got a nigga financing it, right? Because somebody got to be taking the pictures. You're not taking your own pics. I severely doubt you got a tripod set up right there on the sand while you out there taking a picture. So for me, just seeing nothing but beach pics, like anything more than maybe like 5 of them, is just like, okay. It's just a turn off for me.
I want to clap it up because he might got a point. Now, of course, there are women out here who can take vacations and that they might go with their girls. But a lot of times, again, not all the time, but a lot of times we know it might be a man right there taking that pic. And like too many times, man, like I said on IG earlier, man, it's too many times I've seen women post a whole pic. You see nothing but titties and ass. And the caption be some shit like, hey guys, I want you to look at my hair. And you don't see no fucking hair in the picture. All you see is titties and ass. I want to boo that bitch. Boo, bitch. If all you got is titties and ass, if that's what you want to show off, then by all means, go show off your titties and your ass. It's yours. But don't hide showing your body. Like, well, hold on. Let's take it back, because if I come on IG and I want to show off my penis and my balls, I'm not going to say, hey guys, I want you guys to look at my fingernails. No. Hey bitch, look, come look at my dick. You got to be upfront. You got to be honest. So clap it up one more time for my guy Sully, man, because in relation to me, man, like something I look for, like I said, if all you post is just body pictures or pictures like a side shot with your ass out, or you just push your titties up in the camera, just being thirsty, trying to get attention, you know, it's probably about a 99.999% chance I'm going to block you and we never going to talk again. I also check the comments. Now, let me use an example from the past. Now, this one girl liked me, right? And now she had a dude in her comments say some shit like, damn, ma, that ass. Ooh, I want to eat that ass. And her response was, ha, 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 LOL, stop playing bestie. And it was a man. Now I'm like, I don't know about you, but if I got a bestie, a best friend, like that's not how we communicate, especially on Instagram in the comment section. If somebody's that comfortable telling you in public, bitch, I want to eat that ass. Like, can you imagine? Can you simply imagine what the fuck goes on behind closed doors? So boo them raggedy motherfuckers. But now, like I said, man, it's been a wild week, man. I seen a video last week from California where there was a woman, I believe in her 40s. She was shot dead outside of her burger joint. Now, police initially believed that her killing could have been a robbery gone wrong. But come to find out, her ex-husband, who she was going through a divorce battle with, he hired hitmen. He hired the world's dumbest fucking hitman to kill his wife. Now, tragically, you know, she did die. She did lose her life. So I want to say RIP and my condolences to her. But when I tell you, motherfuckers, these hitmen was so dumb. They were stumbling and bumbling around. They was looking like the motherfuckers from Home Alone. Y'all know the two burglars, Harry and whatever the fuck other nigga name was, from Home Alone. They ended up being able to connect these hitmen back to this woman's ex-husband. And come to find out, he put out a hit on her life. So let's dive into the news story. This is Inside Edition. Man, if you motherfuckers out here, if you going through a breakup, you going through a divorce, like simply just try to block the person and move the fuck on. Taking somebody's life, it ain't worth it, man. Because it's probably about a 98% chance you're gonna get caught, you're gonna end up in jail for the rest of your fucking life. But Inside Edition, talk to me. Tell me how this woman tragically lost her life. Inside Edition, talk to your boy.
A millionaire businesswoman is desperately trying to flee an assassin who chases her around her luxury SUV. She makes a break for it, but the cold-blooded killer guns her down. The victim is 44-year-old Jessica Torres, who owned a vast commercial real estate empire across Southern California. The horrifying drama unfolded in this parking lot in San Bernardino. Jessica Torres had just pulled in for an early lunch at her favorite fast food restaurant when she was struck down. At first, police thought it was a robbery gone wrong, but now they say there was a much more sinister motive: a murder for hire. Surveillance video shows Jessica leaving the restaurant and walking to her $175,000 Mercedes G-Wagon. As she opens the door, another SUV pulls behind and blocks her in her parking spot. The assassin climbs out of the passenger seat and confronts her. He grabs her purse, steps back, and fires. But incredibly, he misses. Brave Jessica leaps out of the car. What follows is an epic life-or-death struggle as she tries to wrestle the gun from him. A Good Samaritan runs out of the restaurant to help, but he runs for his life when the gunman opens fire. Then that terrifying chase around her vehicle as the gunman fires again and again at her, 9 times in all. 4 hours later, the alleged assassin and getaway driver were tracked down thanks to surveillance video and witnesses. Then came the next shocking development. Police say it wasn't a robbery gone wrong at all. They say turns out two of the suspects had links to the victim's husband. Jessica's 53-year-old estranged husband, Sergio Reveles, was charged with plotting the murder along with 3 other men, a total of 5 suspects. Police body cam shows SWAT teams raiding a house in San Bernardino to make the arrests.
Definitely a murder for hire case. There is evidence to show that the suspects did stalk our victim for several days and months prior to this murder.
Torres and her husband have been locked in a contentious divorce for the past 2 years. He and the 4 other suspects have pled not.
Boo that nigga, man. God damn. Like I said, man, I know I come on here and I talk my shit. You know, I try to keep it entertaining, but also informative. Like I said to start, man, if you are out here going through a divorce, a bad breakup, whatever you may be thinking about, you know what? I want to kill this person. I want to take this person off the earth. Don't do it. Sometimes laying down, going to sleep, or even taking a walk in the park and taking the time to think about, you know what? This is something I want to do. But if I do it, you got to weigh the pros and cons. Because that husband, like we all know, when he hired those hitmen, like there was not 1 second in his mind he thought he would be caught and most likely have to do life in fucking prison. So boo that dumb motherfucker. But let me see what else, man. Like I said, the docket is large, the docket is huge. But we got Donald Trump. We probably gonna get to that shit later. But now there was a couple. Now we all know when it comes to airplanes and flights, like it's been crazy. It's been plane crashes. It's been planes skidding off the runway, going upside down, colliding with helicopters. It's been a lot of shit that's happened since 2025 started.
Jesus Christ.
But I think this might take the cake in a way that doesn't have, well, never mind. It do got a fatality. But there was a couple, they was forced to sit next to a dead body for 4 hours on a plane after a woman died mid-flight. Boo, bitch. Could you imagine? You on an airplane, you flying to your vacation, you flying home, like close your eyes right now. Make believe you on Delta, you on fucking whatever that fuck else they got. Spirit, I don't know if some of you motherfuckers take Spirit, but you on your flight, you comfortable. It's an open seat next to you. Now somebody dies on the flight, the fucking flight attendant, the stewardess, whatever the fuck they call. They bring this person's dead body. They sit this person next to you on the fucking plane and they cover this person with a sheet and you got to sit next to a fucking dead body for 4 hours. Matter of fact, I want you guys to send me a voicemail on IG. My IG is Lunchroom Chatterpod. Send a voicemail. What would you do? Would you sue? Would you be okay with it? Would you be sympathetic? Or how would you feel? And like, we know a plane. When you're on the plane, you're sitting down in your seat, you gotta stay in your fucking seat. So how would you feel? You look to your right and you got dead Teresa next to you for 4 fucking hours. But let's dive into the news story. Talk to me. The couple was going to open up and explain how they felt having this this dead woman next to them for 4 hours. Talk to me.
Flight from Hell doesn't come close to describing Mitch and Jenny's trip to Venice. They were on a Qatar Airways flight from Melbourne when a woman tragically passed away mid-air. The crew decided to put the woman's body in their row. Mitch forced to sit next to her corpse for the remaining 4 hours of the flight.
Jesus Christ.
The couple late this afternoon. Guys, I know this has really shaken you up. Jenny, how are you going?
Yeah, I'm trying to make the best of a pretty hard situation, but, you know, we're on holidays, so we're really trying to have a good time.
I gotta pause it. Fuck that. Now, I'm gonna be sympathetic, but if I'm on a flight and somebody died on the fucking flight, do not put no dead bitch next to me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come off heartless, but do not put no dead bitch next to me when I'm flying to Orlando, bitch.
Unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch. Then they went to try and move her. They brought this chair down, which I'd never seen before, but it had just 2 wheels on the back, and they put her in this chair. And they tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle because her height was at armchair height. So they looked a bit frustrated, and then they just looked at me and saw seats were available beside me. My wife was on the other side. We were in a row of 4 by ourselves, and they just said to me, "Can you move over, please?" And I just said yes, no problem. And then they placed the lady in the chair that I was in.
Wow. We're also really mindful this is incredibly distressing for this woman's family as well.
I got a boo, man, but like I said, I also want to be sympathetic, man, because like the reporter just said, it's also stressful for that woman's family. But I'm more sympathetic to the passengers, man, because 4 hours next to a dead body has to be fucking traumatizing. Now, I would say I would have put the lady in the bathroom, but then that's when you gotta have, I guess, you gotta give her body dignity. But I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, like I said, with a dead lady next to me, man. But I want to boo that shit for real. Fuck them motherfuckers, man. Now, there was a woman, I believe her name was Dr. Heavenly. I don't know who the fuck she is, but some of you guys may know her. But she came out and she implied that gay guys are not real men. Now, of course, with the backlash that she got, she had to come back and apologize. But this is what she had to say firsthand when she came out and she said that gay guys are not real men. So first, before we get to the fucking apology, let's hear what she had to say initially. Come on.
It is. So when you have a conversation with somebody and somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying? The guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean? Straight men are going to feel like if you tell my wife to shut the fuck up, I'm going to have a problem with it. I mean, that's just, it is. It is. So when you have a conversation with somebody and somebody gets upset,
that's my first time hearing that, but a lot of what she said was uncalled for. Like, you can make your point and say, you know what? Most men will have a problem with XYZ. You don't, like, she did too much. You know, most men, not gay men, not straight, like, just, it's too, you don't got to do all that shit. But I believe that a lot of that has to do with the times we live in now, where people just want to say some shit for outrage and offend different people. Like I said, man, she took a lot of backlash. She came out and this is her apology. Come on, talk to me.
I love y'all. I'm just emotional right now because, and again, let me apologize for what I said before. I made a lot of people feel uncomfortable about something I made and it was mistaken. And I want to say I apologize. It was an ignorant statement I made about, being a real man, or whatever. I want to apologize for that again and again. Y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I didn't mean anything by it, but it doesn't take away from somebody I might have hurt their feelings. So I will apologize for that again.
You meant that shit. Shut the fuck up. Like time and time again, especially now with social media, with relationships, with meme culture, damn near every time you scroll, you see some shit like, real men would do XYZ, or, a bitch made man, a sassy man. Like, it's so much shit that goes on now to where, as a brother, sometimes, I be scared to breathe sometimes, man. Like, if you cough, oh, you gay, nigga, you sassy. It's like, God, all I did was cough, bitch. But that's the times we live in. But I've become happier once I begin to accept and acknowledge that it ain't much you can do now, man. Like I said, you could breathe wrong and somebody gonna say you're sassy, you're gay, you're not a real man because, as they say, meme culture, social media culture, these TikToks, these trends, a lot of it has simply devoured a lot of the healthy thinking that used to be in society, man. But damn.
Jesus Christ.
Man, like I said, man, we got to go from dumber to dumber now. Donald Trump just took office, man, I believe in late January. And man, this motherfucker is on a mission to fuck up a lot of shit. But I want to send my love and prayers out there, man, to all the federal workers and even some I know. Some who work at the CDC here in Atlanta who lost their fucking job, man, because they was fresh onto the job. I believe within 2 years, they were still on their fucking probationary period. and they lost their job because Trump and Elon Musk are trying to cut back on costs and lay off a lot of federal workers. So, man, damn.
Jesus Christ.
So I want to send love and condolences to you guys, man, because like I always say, man, the cost of living is high, man. So to lose your job out of nowhere, especially when most of us have kids, we got families, we got bills, and sometimes being set back on your bills for 2 weeks can fuck up your entire year. But recently, man, Donald Trump came out and he unveiled a plan in which he is going to sell a new immigration card. Not your green card. This is called the gold card. That gold card will be sold to immigrants for the low price of $5 million. Damn. So Trump, talk to me. Tell me about this elusive gold card.
We're going to be doing something else. It's going to be very, very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before, anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks, Howard? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a
any
minute.
requirements for that
Hang on a
gold
sec.
card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right
shit. That's the dumbest shit I heard in my fucking life, man. This motherfucker. Now, again, he said, this is only for the wealthy immigrants. And I understand, because only the wealthy fucking immigrants could even afford $5 million. Now, you guys out there who voted for Trump, thank you for giving me a daily dose of the dumbest shit. When I tell you, I've never seen a president tweet every fucking day. Like, you could have a fucking plane crash and here come Trump. Fire the pilots. The pilots must be the dumbest pilot. And I'm like, this is the president of the United States of America saying this dumb shit. Like, never in my lifetime, aside from when Trump was last president, have I seen a president every fucking day come out with a fucking tweet, come out with a quote? Like, God damn. Like, the world is literally going down the drain right in front of my fucking eyes, man. So when I sit back and I see shit, man, like, sometimes it's hard to not be depressed or to not be down or let down sometimes when you see a lot of shit that goes on. But I'm keeping down the line. Now, Drake has canceled the remaining dates of his Australian tour. I believe it's called the Anna Wintour Max Tour or some shit. Now, he canceled the remaining dates. He said that it was due to a scheduling conflict, but who knows? We don't know why he canceled this shit. Now, of course, social media is saying that it was because of low ticket sales, because of Kendrick fans. Who the fuck knows? I don't give a fuck at this point, but to keep it moving down the line, we had another Southwest flight today avoided a plane disaster on the Chicago runway. Now, there was a Southwest flight was landing. It landed for about 2 seconds. It was going straight, and another plane came from the left side and was driving directly into the path of the Southwest flight that just landed. Goddamn. Now, thankfully, that pilot saw the plane and Like I said, he landed for 2 seconds and then he went right back up in the sky and took back off to avoid that plane. What the fuck is going on? Now, of course, Donald Trump sent out a tweet. He said, "Great job by the pilots of the Southwest flight. A tragic close call. Perhaps suspend the license of the other plane who must have been sleeping." Now, again, if this was a regular person saying this, like someone like me and you, but the president of the United States of America, like, you gotta be more professional when you say some shit like this. But like I said, man, it's some ghetto shit, this whole fucking episode. We gonna keep it moving to another relationship murder. This time the suspect is a ghetto girl. Oh my God. Now the story, there was a Georgia woman named Hannah Cobb. She was arrested for involuntary manslaughter after she fatally shot her 30-year-old boyfriend. Rest in peace to Telvin Osborne. But like I always like to do, we gonna step aside for a second. Talk to me. Tell me what happened. Motherfuckers just losing their life left and right. Like I said, man, if you are in a toxic relationship, I understand sometimes you got to do some shit to protect yourself, but it's a lot of fuckery going on out here, man. That's why I'm single and I don't know if I'm gonna date again, but talk to me. Tell me what happened. Tell me what the bitch did.
Tonight charged with involuntary manslaughter. It happened Sunday on 4 Points Road in Waynesboro. Investigators say Hannah Cobb had some sort of altercation with Telvin Osborne when a gun went off and Osborne got shot. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff, Alfonso Williams, says they're still getting search warrants, but he says this shooting was not accidental and Cobb could face more charges.
The offenses committed leading up to the discharge of the firearm included simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct. It is reckless to go out and get drunk and then introduce a firearm into an argument. It is reckless to engage in an argument where there's pushing and shoving going on. And those are the predicate charges for the charge of involuntary manslaughter.
Hannah Cobb there remains in the Burke County Jail.
Now, like I said, man, in other news, we got Hall of Fame receiver Steve Smith Sr. He is a married man who got busted for sleeping with another man's wife. Now, that lady's wife, I guess he went through her phone or some shit and he found text messages. He found proof that his wife was having an affair with wide receiver Steve Smith. And he actually called up Steve Smith on the phone, and this is what happened.
Yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You fucking knew she was married. You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that? Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man. Steve.
Whew. That gotta be tough, man, because now I think that Steve Smith was quiet because he realized at that moment that his real life is likely fucked up. You know, he's been married for a long time to a very beautiful wife, and they have kids together. They had what was seemingly a happy marriage, which probably is now going to come crashing down. Infidelity, a divorce is probably on the horizon. Now they got to go through a divorce battle, spousal support. Now, we don't know. She might take him back. She might be okay with that. She might forgive Steve, but I don't know, man. You know, Steve Smith right now, I believe he's an NFL analyst. I believe either on the NFL Network or some shit. Because I know I seen him this past NFL season. Might be Amazon's. One of the shits. But this is why you got to be careful, or better yet, just stay faithful, man. Like, I know sometimes temptation is tough when you got a lot of hoes out there who would just simply give up the ass for free. For the easy. It's that easy now to get some. Now, remember back in the day, man, when you had to work for some coochie, when you had to put the time, you had to put the effort, you had to actually be on your A game to get some coochie. But now the coochie come to you in 2 seconds. You don't got to put no effort. The coochie just slide down the pipeline. But damn, I want to boo it up, man, because like I said, man, his life is gone. So Steve Smith Sr., good luck to you, my brother. Your life, your marriage, you probably fucked it up because you couldn't keep your dick in your pants. Now, sometimes in life, we got bad problems and then we got good problems. But I think Steve Smith, this situation would qualify as a bad problem. But now, before I dip out, my guy, Darren Falana, dope artist from Canada, man. He dropped a small EP in 2023. So I want to end it off by taking it back to some of my roots. I want to play a song by my guy. Again, that is Darren Falana. His song is called Good Problems. Now, not bad problems like Steve Smith got. This is the good problem. So talk to me, Darren Falana. Check out this smooth jam.
Man, how did life get so fucking entertaining? How your act get boring when I entertain it? I told you this arrangement was for entertainment. My demons back, we all getting reacquainted. Ooh, Adidas made the toe, case you ain't know. I'm lying if I ever tell you same old. Gold rings looking like the Lake Show. I might need a 10-8 word to J. Cole. She do all the angles they teach in class. That's the only time I ever think of math. I need all of my wants. Is that too much to ask? I'm that nigga. Is that concept too much to grasp? If you ask me why, I'm too busy for love. I tell you the same reason. You're too drunk in the club. We just went from a could be to let it be what it was. The answer to why these days is usually just because. I hear a buzz, that's the front desk calling to check if I'm off the drugs. Cause the night I just had, well, you know the ones where the words start to sound like these women speaking in tongues and the walk turns into a two-step. Somebody else gotta be praying for me, I'm too blessed. How did everything that I was looking for find me? The one thing I can't say it isn't as timely. I've been in the graveyard running with zombies. The highway beside a silhouette of some palm trees. Then the driver skirt around the bend, I'm leaning. Noble by the waves just to start my evening. I just wanna give her something she could believe in. It ain't that all that you still want even. My life a dream, girl, but you not dreaming. Your all access pass, cause this my season. You know I'm from the way up North Place. The OG Timbs, the North Face. I fled like I'm ducking a court case. I was really thinking out the box on niggas. Truthfully, this how I know I'm not those niggas. I changed my mind, I still want the wagon. Might cop the Urus, all these good problems. Yeah. Am I not supposed to solve them?
Brand new LCP.
Again, that is my guy, Darren Falana, with Good Problems. Now, you guys out there, man, who stay locked in, who stay tuned in to that LCP. Thank you again. My Cash App is $NYC Story 718. My Venmo is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Stay locked in. Again, you guys can follow me on TikTok now. Like, the podcast TikTok is active. One more time, man. The podcast TikTok is active. I believe my name on there is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Follow me on the podcast TikTok, man, for some great videos, great conversations. I'm going to be on there posting more. Again, my IG It's Lunchroom Chatter Pod, and let your friends know, let your mama, your auntie, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your baby cousin, your baby toddler, your grandma and your auntie. Let them know to be a part of the convo and check out that LCP podcast. Thank you, baby.